So we've been seeing a lot of articles and things in the news lately about how there has been discrimination based on comp and compensation. And so I want to chat with you a little bit about some things you want to maybe consider, especially if you're a small business owner, because you can get, as we say here in Colorado, over our skis a little bit when it comes to comp, meaning that you could be paying someone, let's say, $100,000 a year, and then you're growing, and now you need to add a new employee in, but they're going to have a demand and a need for making 120,000 a year, let's say. Well, now you've got a gap of $20,000 that you need to level out and make equal if they're doing equal work. And the reason for this is that if in the event that there is a law that's passed around pay transparency, or that employee that's making $100,000 finds out that the new person's making 120, you could have a lawsuit on your hand for that that inequality there between the two pay grades. And so you really want to have a plan in place for how you're going to manage compensation and have a compensation strategy in place so that you're not suddenly in the hole now $20,000, because from a cash flow perspective, for some small businesses, that can be a lot of money. So, what I recommend you do is invest a little bit of money in having a compensation study done. So, there's amazing databases out there that are actually quite expensive, but have a lot of detail around pay ranges for a particular area and a particular set of skills. You can then tie that back to a job description and then be able to put a plan in place to say, okay, here is what we need to do to, again, stay on top of comp. How can we manage it from a cash flow perspective as well as a growth perspective? And then additionally, it'll also lend you some really good ideas around how you even want to do other things with your profits in terms of maybe bonusing people or providing incentives for certain outcomes. And so this plan, having a compensation plan, is really all encompassing around a lot of things. But primarily, one of the most important things is protecting the organization and protecting your employees from having a wage difference. Now, there's also things that you can do with a comp study. You can also look at then, I'm going to simplify it. It's got a real special technical term to it, but basically looking at, are you paying people properly based on their also, are they, if they're a protected class? We can do studies to ensure that a particular protected class, maybe women or different races or different age groups, are not being paid unfairly. And again, in the event that that's happening, what's the plan for correcting it? Because you do not want to be caught in a situation like what Google and Pfizer have recently experienced, where they actually had major lawsuits and were out, to the tune of $1 million to close to a couple, a pretty high amount of millions, depending on how class action, how big the lawsuit was, because they were not paying their women properly. So you want to just keep your eyes on this, because unfortunately I shouldn't say unfortunately, but for a lot of folks who are not paying attention to this, you're going to get sued, you're going to get in trouble, and it's going to cost you way more than the effort of actually putting together a comp study and doing some thoughtful work around this. Of course, this is one of the things that we do at Turning the Corner. There's also lots of other providers out there as well, but we've got someone on the team that's really quite a specialist in this whole compensation strategy and compensation plan. So let us know if we can be of any help. Thanks so much.